Hello everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel and the craziness that is our little attempt here to try to rebuild the Kingdom of Kush. Of course, a ton happened in the last episode, something I'll be honest, I haven't really experienced much of or at all. And yeah, I mean, to get drawn basically to go into two-front war and then have your leader die. I mean, it was a whole thing. And there are a couple of things I wanted to get into here. But first of all, need to give 3 shout-outs to 3 new Patreon supporters. Li Shen Gao, sorry if I mispronounce any names. Thank you so much. He is a new noble of the realm. And then we have 2 new heroes of the realm in Keith and Hunter Murphy. Thank you so much, Keith and Hunter. Of course, you will be plugged into the game series as and where it works and makes sense. Thank you so much. If you want to find out how you can support the channel on Patreon, there's a link down in the description. So, now there were a lot of comments about how I should have played the last episode. Many of you are new to the channel. I mean, when I look at the stats from the analytics from episode 1, about 70% of the viewers were not subscribed, and every episode since then, it's been about 50-50, which is the right kind of mix you actually kind of expect for a channel that's trying to grow. So for those of you that are new, just so you know something about me, I don't play optimally or meta or min-max. I just don't. I used to play that way a lot. I also don't really achievement hunt, because that does kind of lend towards a meta gameplay style. I play predominantly, especially in Crusader Kings 3, also Imperator Rome and a few other ones. I tend to lean heavily on the roleplay aspect. And what I mean by roleplay is look at the historical context of the leader and the nation that I'm playing, as well as the historical background behind any decisions that get made. And then, of course, when you look at a game like CK3, you've got a ton of personal attributes and statistics here to kind of look at to help guide you. Now, one of the things that was mentioned was I should have, or we should have, pieced out with Elodia. It's basically become their subjects, so there's only one war, that we were not losing a lot of people and troops and commanders and so on, and then just gone after West Darfur. The reason why I didn't do that is because Elodia, and I kind of put this out in episode 1, Elodia, along with all of these Coptic Nubian nations here, whether they're Nubian or Ethiopian, they were one of the big reasons why the Kushites fell apart. I mean, Elodia and Makuria were former Kingdom of Kush provinces that when the Abyssinians and the Gujamis and so on, when they came in, they basically took it over and broke it up into all these different parts and sacked, you think about it, the Nubians, as well as the Abyssinians and Ethiopians. They sacked Meroe, which is right over here, which is the ancestral home and capital of the Kushites. So to ever think that a Kush leader, lord, ruler, whatever you want to call him, duke at the time, high chief, would willingly surrender to an age-old enemy, well, that's just not going to happen. So that's basically what led to it. My goal originally was the subjugation war here is to kind of integrate all of this, which then, in a way, did happen because of character death and so on. But it just steamrolled a little too quickly. Hindsight being what it is, we hesitated in trying to go after West Darfur because I just wasn't comfortable yet. We weren't there yet. We have, had a more cautious leader at the time, and that ended up biting us in the butt. Also, the alliance marriage game should have been more aggressive with it and wasn't, and so that kind of hurt us, especially because the ally we did have here in Shovak was rather completely and utterly useless, to say the least. But now, let's take a look at our new chieftain, Ibadu ibn Gelgel of Kordofan. He's, of course, Kushite and Daju. He is a temperate, so he likes everything in moderation, so he's not going to push things. That gives him a +2 to stewardship and a small boost to health. He's deceitful, so his intrigue goes up +4, his diplomacy goes down. He can unlock, study the art of scheming decision. To lie and deceive is in his nature, and he's shy, so he avoids interacting with people. So the way I interpret this is, he's a schemer, he's a strategist in a way, who is behind the scenes, so he'll never confront anybody too directly. But he's temperate, so he's he doesn't want to do too much. He's an astute intellectual, so possesses a deep understanding of theology, philosophy, and all aspects of deeper learning. So he's very big on that. Now, the other aspects we look here, prowess 0, so he's never going to fight in battle. His diplomacy is terrible. Base was 3. Being deceitful and shy just knocks it down even further. And this also hurts our prestige big time. I mean, -9%. And general opinion is down. So he is diplomatically inept. He is martially inept. I'd say he's poor. He's slightly below average at stewardship. He's average at intrigue and learning. So that's kind of the area that is his main focus. Now, of course, we have our titles as far as the Chieftain of Kordofan, Chieftain of Dar al-Ri. And then on top of that, we've got pressed claims against South Kordofan, West Kordofan, and Dar al-Said, which all of our siblings have. Then we have 3 children. We have Gague, who is the heir, because women can inherit. Then we've got Jian, and we have Grim. So 2 patrons right there. And then siblings, we have 2 in prison. Our half-sister, Maj, our other half-brother, David, and then we have our half-brother, Bramya, of South Kordofan. So these are all areas of focus. Now, we have a lifestyle to choose. He's all about learning, so that's the way we're going to do. We're going to go. Sorry, not going to do. And we're going to focus on scholarship as the main area. Now, he's going down the whole body tree. We will finish this up, of course. That will help a ton with health. Then on top of that, we look here. Children lack guardians. Your daughter and player heir, Gague, needs a guardian. So if we look at her, what is she decent at? She's decent at martial. Let's see. She's rowdy and greedy. So that would lend her to be both a good steward and martial. She's already on the martial focus. So teaching our wife, Bilan, who is a super warrior, she will then be her guardian. And then we've got John. He needs a guardian. What is John good at? He is bossy. So I think stewardship is definitely the way he could go. And that is also his education focus. And there, too, it will be our wife, Bilan, who will be the guardian there. Now, we have a bunch of titles we can inherit. First in line, basically everything within our family. First and second in line. And that will dictate the direction we want to go. We are not endorsed by our court priests. Don't know if I want to sway him just yet. We're going to wait with that right now. Too few champions. We need one more. We cannot invite champions because we're missing the prestige. So we've allowed everybody. That's just something we're going to have to deal with for a while. That's a big loss right there. We're losing 1.69 per month. That's a big, big, big problem. Does he want to prove himself? He's shy, so he doesn't want to prove himself. By not having any martial interest in being shy, if we would meta this, I would simply call a hunt and call it a day. But he is shy. And, he's not athletic at all, so we're not going to go hunting. Embrace celibacy is a direction we could go. Go on a pilgrimage, host a feast, but he's shy. So feasting and hunting are 2 things he's not really going to do. Pilgrimage he will do because he is so into learning and piety. So pilgrimage is a direction that I would like to take us. Celibacy is something he could also embrace. He has 3 children. He doesn't really need any more. at the age 28. Can search for a physician. Let's do that. See what we can find. Then strategically, now I mentioned the issue with Elodia, but what we need is the Azims and High Chieftain Tianossi to like us. That's been an issue, and we want to join the war because right now, if we look at this war, it's not going well, and we will lose Dar al-Said, which we do have a claim upon, and I don't want to lose that. They've got 5,200. We have this side has 48. We will eventually get up to 700, so that should push it just over the top. So what we're going to do here, we've got a rather large force moving in. We could join the war. I think that's something we should look at doing. So we're going to offer to join the war. West Darfur. We gain stress because he's shy. Stress is already super high. Well, not super high. It's 80 out of 300, but this will still keep him at below that first stress level. Let's grow. Effects will grow closer to forming a friendship with you. So we're going to offer to join the war, and we're going to raise all of our troops. Now, the first thing, let me unpause here. We're, of course, going to try to just stay here and wait for more and more troops to arrive, and then eventually get out of Dodge. Now, we got to look for a physician. Who can we afford? Cisse. Cisse is... See, he's possessed. He's a novice hunter. No, let's not go with someone who's possessed. Astur. He is a fornicator. Yeah, neither one of those will do right now. We're going to keep an eye on this battle here, which is not going well. Our half-sister has been released. Now, the other thing we're going to look at, we're going to see where these troops move. Council invitation. I have come to the inexorable conclusion that you truly are the best candidate I have for my open council position. Though it pains me to do so, I am unfortunately obligated to offer you a position of steward. Really? Me? Sure. We have an empty council position. The position of chancellor is open. And we will assign our courtier Gague to head that up. Okay, so the other thing we're going to start doing is we're going to look at who do we have issues with? Do we have issues with anybody? Dar al-Said, South Kordofan. I mean, we like to do intrigue. This is our half-brother. What about a murder scheme? There's a 45% chance that this will happen. 60% chance you're not exposed to the crime of murder. We will start a scheme here because obviously we love intrigue. Ibadu loves his intrigue, and as such, we're gonna focus on that as a ways and a means to get where we need to go. We need to send a proposal. Greetings, my impressive vassal. I would like for your young daughter and heir Gague to be raised by Epimachos, a most skillful guardian. So Onexep loses Chiefess Bilana's guardian, becomes Epimachos' ward, moves to stay with High Chieftain Tianosi's court, will become Nubian and Coptic. Ooh. See, and he would lose opinion if we don't do it, but we are all about the Kushite faith. We're going to decline this. Again, not necessarily a very smart move. If you look at, what's optimal, but looking at playing our characters, we want to keep the Kushite faith, knowing that he is, more leaning towards learning and piety. So he cares about the heritage of his people a lot. So that's a definite must-have. Stone of Glass. As I struggle to make out the tiny letters on the scroll before me, I feel a headache building once again. Why do scribes insist on writing such small symbols? I squint and try again. Nothing short of a miracle. With the aid of a stone of glass, even old men struggling with bad eyesight could read with ease. Majin, I require your assistance. So you gain 300 learning lifestyle experience and a weak hook on us. I need one of these stones. Or sell everything, which is impossible to read. No, he's an intellectual, and he wants to read more, so these stones are very, very important to achieve that. All right, well, we're waiting for this army to build, and once we know which way they're going, that's the direction we're going. We are now complete. Negotiate alliance. My dear brother, I eagerly propose to formalize the ties that already bind us together by signing alliance between our realms. Dar al-Sa'id. Sure. You know, I mean, I know we ideally want to kill him eventually, but right now, alliances are important, and I have no problem betraying that alliance because, again, we are deceitful. All right, we will... That is our wife. I actually wouldn't mind a different commander. And let's put our champion Kareem in charge. He is a holy warrior, faith, hostility advantage. Or an organizer, retreat loss, Lanjin, a champion, low prowess. We want the high prowess. So we're going to send him. And just wait and see here what happens. We're going to start sending our troops into West Kordofan with our allies. We definitely have the soldiers to do that. It looks like they are chasing them down for a battle. Will there be a battle? That's the big question. High Chieftain Panigoros has become your liege after inheriting titles. Oh, Tianossi has died. Tianossi has died. Okay, so we've got a new liege. Lead to gold. The transmutation of lead to gold has long been the dream of alchemists across the world. Though many have attempted such a feat, nobody is known to have succeeded. Despite this, I've come across some notes written in the margins of a book about plants. They claim that one can create golden rain by boiling lead, sugar, in a filtered solution of seaweed and ash. Could such a thing be possible? If nothing else, it's worth investigating. Yes. Or does he... These scribbles are clearly nonsensical prank. Logical thinking. So learning +1, he likes to be logical, so we're going to continue along that path and kind of keep an eye on what that army is doing and maybe help out with these sieges. I mean, our allies are splitting up. Council invitation. I have come to an exonerable conclusion of a spy master. All right, we are now a spy master of Elodia. I actually don't mind that. Being on his council for that is actually kind of nice. All right, we're beginning the siege of Gafala. I'm just waiting to see what those guys are doing. Our ally has joined the war. All right, Gafala has fallen. I'm trying to see what these guys are really doing here. Send a proposal. Let's see. Nope, we're going to decline. It's the same thing. I want us to let her be the guarding. Murder! Itching for a distraction. The man in charge of cleaning the clothes of Chieftain Bramya's guards is brought to me. No one will notice him tampering with their clothes, and if something distracting for the guards could be planted, what would you have of me, my lord? We don't have the money. And we can't afford to lose the prestige. Shoot. This is a problem. I want you to grind those hips really fine. Or cut holes in their clothes in improper areas. No, we're going to lose the money, and that's fine. We'll get the money back. I'm not too worried about that right now. As we move into Dar al-Sa'id. Let's see, they are besieging a city up there. And I mean, there are enough troops now in this war to turn on them and defeat them. What's the siege progress here? 7 months. So it's going to take a while for them to siege that down. And in the meantime, we have begun our siege here, which is going to take about 4 months. And a new siege has been won. So now, let's see, where can we go? Where can we go? The war score is definitely going in our favor. Let's just go straight for their capital in Ain Farah. And now all of us, including our allies, are just sieging down West Darfur. They will... I foresee them losing this war. Let's see. Al-Fashir is going to fall in 3 months. They're going to win this siege over here very, very soon. So I'll be curious to see what they do from there. So they win that siege. And in 7 months, Ain Farah will be ours. So we'll keep an eye on them here. They're sieging this one down. That'll take 6 months. So it's just basically a siege game at this point. I don't know what these guys are doing here. They should be going in here and just carpet sieging them down. Let's see. Chiefess Bilan has gained, hold on, has gained architectural expertise. So stewardship +1, very nice. If there's one thing Chieftain Bramya's particular cannot resist, in particular, that's actually how you read, cannot resist, it's his favorite treat. His next sweet snack will be 1 part poached pear and 1 part potent poison, forgotten, haha, by my agent in front of the child. Bon appetit. Let's see what, if anything, that happens. Defenseless. Oh no, Chieftain Bramya is dead. Oh, what shall I do? Bummer. He swallowed the bait, marzipan and all. Ooh, I do like marzipan. In no time at all, he was clutching at his throat, wheezing for air before collapsing into a small heap on the ground, never to get up again. All bakers in the area were questioned, but no trace of foul play could be found. I had to do this. I had to do this. Ah, stress of 16. Uh-oh. Overwhelmed by stress. Yes, but it had to happen. Had to happen. Okay, we've got a mental break. Dark thoughts. Guilt and shame have been plaguing me as of late. All of my sins, my flaws, my failings. These dark thoughts distract me from my responsibilities and keep me awake at night. I feel like I must do something to put an end to this mental anguish, but what could possibly help? I must confess to all my wrongdoings. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. The sting of the lash will exorcise my sins. So be flagellant. Okay. It's not to be confused with flatulent. I must be strong and resist these impulses. No, I mean, he's kind of into that, you know, self-flagellation. He's very, very pious and so on. So yeah, he'll do that. So he gains that trait. Go away. Thank you. But if we look at our realm now, so we got all of that now. Now we got to look at where else to go. Now we've got one more domain holding. We could look at some of these claims out here, but let's take a look at how this war is going. So there's an enemy force, but they are moving away from us. Did those guys actually break off the siege of Al-Fashir to go after him? That they were so close to ending the siege. Oh no, they did win the siege. Sorry, I just got a little distracted there. But anyway, we will get the capital here very, very soon of those West Darfuris. But now we must look what else to do. So West Kordofan as our other half-brother David, or we can go after our half-sister in Maj. I think she could be the next one to go. I think she... Ooh, 19%. Yeah, that's not good. I gotta play the odds here a little bit. What about murder here? 75%. Oh, David. Sorry, buddy. You will definitely be the next one to go. New learning perk. We can go wash your hands. Reduce the contracting illness. Reduce the chance of courtiers to contract illness. Mental resilience. So time between mental breaks plus 3 years. I feel like we could use that right now. To be a little bit more, have a little bit more mental fortitude, I think would benefit all of us here in the realm. Let's see, what else we got going on here? We made a little bit of money. 5th in line, inherit West Kordofan. Gotta kill a lot of people to get there. First in line for West Kordofan. Okay. The 4th in line. Okay, anyway. Be that as it may, we made a little bit of money. And the war has progressed nicely. What is it looking like right now as far as troops go? That's a huge discrepancy there. Let's see. Do these guys... Yeah, let's loot a little bit. Let's go out here and take our army and siege down that little village out there and just loot around a little bit. Let all these troops take care of the enemy, and we'll just go a-raiding, essentially, and take home some sweet, sweet loot. All right, the Siege of Turek will be won here shortly. And now, let's see, how much we got here? We got 8 gold. Well, let's get over there. Let's siege that one down. And this war is slowly coming to a close. I mean, 66%, so they must have either won a battle. Yeah, they did win a battle, didn't they? Because the AI can be a little bit stupid. Now, of course, we got to keep an eye on where this massive army goes. We cannot let ourselves be caught out. If they're heading back home to break the siege, that's the key. But it looks like they keep on bouncing back and forth. But we'll find out soon enough what direction they are going to go. And that will dictate the direction we are going to go. If they come up this way, then we're getting out of Dodge here super fast. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is something that they are planning on doing. What are our allies doing? They're kind of bumming around here a little bit. The Elodians are kind of incompetent. And if they would have just unified all of their forces, then this would have been a total easy no-brainer war. But be that as it may, they've got some larger armies coming over here together to the thoughtful Ibaду. I have been corresponding with your Chancellor Gague, and I must say that I have come to see you in a new light. Perhaps you are even someone that one day I'm proud to call my friend. Who are you? The chieftain of East Darfur? Sure. Let's be buddies. Let's be buddies. All right, you're sitting over there. They're going to take that battle. That's okay. Well, these guys are going to lose. But that'll give us enough time to siege down Masalit and then run away. 2 days, so Masalit is ours. And with that, the war, if we peace out now quickly, are they fast enough? Are they fast enough? What are they going to do here? What are they going to do? Victory, so be it. We won the war led by Chieftain Panigiros of Alodia against Emir Mavulavde of West Darfur. Perfect. All right, we can disband all of our troops now, and now our prestige is going to rebuild, and we can continue looking at expanding Kordofan the best way possible by killing all of our relatives. All right, so that war is done. Greetings, Chieftain Ibudu of Kordofan. I would be delighted if your daughter and Ergagui could visit my court in Soba to meet her peers, inviting everyone of note, which unfortunately includes her. Chieftain of Alodia. So she's the chiefess. Of course she will be there. Does that do anything? I must decline. Yeah, sure, we'll go there. Greetings. I would be delighted if John would visit. Of course, he will be there. Okay, Grim. Of course, Grim will go as well. And now that that war has been ended, I actually wanted to look and see. Flagellant, so a tiny health penalty. Prow is -2. Couldn't do that anyway. But stress loss -20%. And of course, wounded is part of that. And we are no longer wounded. Happy, happy days. So let us search for a physician. Perfect. Flatulate, we don't need to do that anymore. And things are slowly heading in the right direction. Our children have returned. And let's take a look at these court physicians. So we have Petronia. She's a physician and a famous reveler. Or Bakit, who is sadistic. No, we're going to go with Petronia. Hire her. And what else can we do? We can ransom this Emira Temzi. We will do that. And we need to increase county control. So let's go to our council. Increase control in Kordofan. Okay. So I think that is a good point to end today's episode. We defeated Westar 4. We expand Kordofan by killing our half-brother. We are progressing relatively nice. We've got about 17 months left for the murder scheme against our other half-brother here. And then we're in a power position that we can maybe gobble up Istar 4 again and go for Dar al-Sa'id as well. And then maybe we can look at, I don't know, going after Westar 4, conquering that, and then doing an internal war of independence against Alodia and destroying them that way. If we look at, who's the primary heir? It's Child. And there's nothing beyond that. Can we? What's the murder success here? 90% chance. No, not yet. Not yet, but that'll destabilize the kingdom enough. But first I want to gain West Kordofan. Kind of reunify some of the original lands that our father held. So if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to check out my new channel with more content coming on there in the future. Also, Crusader Kings 3 content coming on there with a fantasy focus. So go check out Fantasy Realm Guy as well. So until next time, I am Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon.